Welcome yet again to another live flea market pickup video. The last couple of weeks have been not so great. Yeah, I've picked up some stuff here and there, but nothing all that spectacular really. Maybe this week will be different? Then again, maybe not. The first thing that catches my eye is this pretty nice flight stick by Thrustmaster. Problem is, I have two excellent flight sticks at home that I barely ever use. Even though I want this, it's probably just best for my sake to walk away. Speaking of Thrustmaster, look at this strange thing. A freestyler board for the PS2 and PS1? I've never even seen this before. I don't know, I'm afraid to even ask how much they want for it. Especially since they have it propped up on their car like that. 99 times out of 100 it usually means they're gonna want big bucks for it. Let me walk around and think about it.
We seem to be having strange luck with finding aliens at the flea market.
What do you mean?
Remember like a month or two ago, we saw an alien? 85 bucks. It is. It's great. You don't want the I'll Be Your Hero Lex Luger figure? It's kind of neat.
Even though I'm not into beer signs, if this was, I don't know, 20 bucks, I think I might have really thought about buying it for myself.
$5 a piece.
These are pretty neat. How much for that?
The stand?
Just a stand, yeah.
10.
Okay.
Out with the queue if you want.
All right, let's think about that. That is neat.
Oh, that's neat.
It's got brakes.
Let's see that.
Run everything.
Missing
Wheels.
the rack,
Oh, yeah. Whatever,
the bottom.
carriage or whatever.
Yeah.
No, there's none there.
Should
Was there something there?
Should be
Something,
something
yeah.
No,
flat,
not
no?
there. Was it busted off or not? No.
No, I didn't say it was busted. I'm saying this looks
Something
like
was
some
supposed to sit in
Oh,
there.
yeah, you could
Sits
sit.
in
You
there.
could pick it up and set what you want in there too. You know.
Yeah, it's cool, but it's missing an important piece. I've no idea what the seller was trying to pull here. It's obvious that there is supposed to be a rack or a liner at the bottom so objects don't fall through it. I mean, think of it this way. Imagine going into a grocery store and every single cart or basket doesn't have any bottom to them, so whenever you put something in the cart, it's going to go straight through to the ground. Ooh, this guy has a few new games he brought this time around. Yu Yu Hakusho? I remember watching that back when Toonami was a thing. I might pick it up. This seller wants 60 bucks for a fat PS2 with the network adapter, a few controllers, and I don't know, 15 games or so, but no memory card. It's not that bad of a price really, especially if you are in the market for a PS2 bundle like this. He has a few great games inside, like 3 Medal of Honor titles, Call of Duty 2, SOCOM, and Ace Combat 4. Yeah, the games are cheap and common, but who cares? They're still good.
This one's 8. This one's 6.
10.
Yeah. Except for that one.
Force one.
Do 10 for both of these.
There you go.
I'll do 12.
What about that T1? No? Frog.
How much for this?
20 total.
Okay. There you go.
Sure.
Thank you.
I give you guys a bag, but I swear to you, I think they'll fall right through.
Yeah,
and cut
yeah.
The bag's
No, I
edges.
got one. Thank
You
you.
could put it in my backpack if you want to.
You're kind of heavy.
Yeah.
Do you want some paper to wrap them up though, so they don't get all chipped up?
No,
Should be fine.
they should be.
Okay.
They'll be fine. They'll be fine. Thank you.
You bet.
You wanted how much for this?
$10.
throw a stick in there with it? Yeah, that's. All right, I'll take that for in the stick for 10.
I guess that's your daughter broke the other one.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, well, as I kind of expected, it's still there. Might as well take a closer look at it.
$10 for that nifty thing.
Yeah. 10?
Right.
$10? I can't believe I almost walked away from this thing without even asking a price. Oh, and the best part? Everything inside is still sealed in its original packaging with the sellotape. I don't even care if the thing is shit. You better believe I'm buying this. A couple stacks of assorted PS2 and other games. I would have probably grabbed that Blitz game if it was on the 360 instead of the PS2. For whatever reason, they didn't release that game on the PS3. Why is a great question that I cannot answer. Anyway, I was interested in a handful of his games, but I decided to just stick with these two. Question now is how much he wants for both.
How much on the 2 games?
Whole bunch. Pardon me?
How much on the 2 games?
$3 each.
Would you do 2 for
Or
5?
We'll do 2 for 5.
Okay.
Well, that sure is interesting. I rarely ever come across Game Boy Advance SP systems at the flea markets, and every time I ever have in the past, they didn't include chargers for them. I've always wanted an SP ever since I was a kid. Maybe I should ask how much he wants for this system just out of curiosity.
How much is the Kirby on the Game Boy?
Well, you're $5 each or $40 for all of them.
Okay.
What's that?
What about for one system in the game?
$10.
$10 is excellent. I was expecting him to say 20, and even then that still would have been a pretty good price. Maybe he gave me such a good deal because I've bought plenty of stuff from him before. Who knows? Either way, I'm very happy about it. A box with a Telegames Atari 2600, about 20 games, and a bunch of different controllers. They're asking $60, which to me is a little high. I see Atari bundles at these places all the time, and if I was in the market for something like this, I'd probably only pay $25 to $30 max. But ever since I bought that modded Xbox from the Goodwill about a year ago, I lost all interest in buying any Atari stuff since I have all the games on that modded system. Nothing but junk in this box of games and DVDs. Except for that Fear Gold Edition, but I have all the games and all the DLC for them, both on the PC and 360, so yeah, there's really no reason I should be interested in this. SOCOM Confrontation, a multiplayer-only game that's virtually unplayable since it's had its server shut off, and only $7? Wow, what a great deal! So this guy dropped all the prices of his games to $1 each. Take a wild guess what game I picked up from him. Just searching through some PS2 and PS1 games. There were titles that I wanted, like the original Ghost Recon, Spider-Man 3, Star Wars Bounty Hunter, and a few others, but the prices were a little too high for me. I did spot this Resident Evil Outbreak file too, but the price is also kinda high. I don't know, maybe I should ask if they can take any less for it. I mean, after all, where I live, Outbreak File 2 is an extremely rare game. You just don't see it at any resale shop, and when you do, it's always more than $25 to $30.
$10? Okay, great, thank you.
No, it's just a.
Chinese bullshit reproduction.
Yeah, it's just a repo.
Mm-hmm.
It's neat, but that's all. That's all it is.
Yep.
How much for that?
15.
Okay.
The Rico.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll give the seller some credit. At least he admits that it's a reproduction. Most of these guys would try to pass it off like it's a brand new original from like the 50s or whatever. Anyway, that just about does it for today's surprisingly great trip to the flea markets. I guess the learning experience from this is don't be afraid to ask a price for anything, even if it does look scary. You never know what the seller's going to respond with, and who knows, you might just walk away with one hell of a great deal. Hold on a second, I have a little bit more footage to show for you all. A half a mile away from one of the GameStops I go to on a regular basis has a Goodwill, and I figured, what the hell, why not take a look and see what they got. First thing I spot is Ghost Recon on the PS2. Excellent, I've been looking for this game for a while and didn't really want to spend anything more than $2. There was every single SOCOM game on the PS2 here, which would have been fantastic if I didn't already own all the games, but I'm going to pick up that Combined Assault anyway for reasons I'll get into later. I was so pissed at myself when I went home and saw that I didn't have that Silent Scope game. It was funny because I debated on whether or not I had it at the store for like 5 minutes before I ended up passing on it. This is exactly why you should keep a list of games you have on you. I really shouldn't have to say this, but I will anyway. Always, and I mean always, check the insides of the cases before you buy the games. You don't want to grab a game like this and see something like the fucking Hulk inside. That goes for at the flea markets too. Always check the discs. I cannot stress that enough. God, I didn't expect to find this. A sealed wireless messenger for the Game Boy Advance? How random. Well, that's it for all the bonus footage. There really isn't anything else worth showing here. Okay, so let's get started with the stuff that I had picked up. First of which was the stuff I got 2 for $5 from the one seller. We have R Racing Evolution. Never heard of this, but it's made by Namco, so who knows if it's good or not. Looks interesting, though. Then we have Hidden Invasion. This looked very, very interesting to me. I think I may have seen this at a like a Blockbuster way back when I was a kid, just because I remember the cover, but the gameplay I just don't have any idea. It reminds me of Fighting Faction or Fighting Force, something like that, back on the N64 and the PS1, but I have not played this, so I don't know what it's really like. Then we have 2 games that I had bought for $1 each from the one guy that dropped the prices of his games. Did you take a guess on what I picked up? Because if you guessed Britney's Dance Beat, oh boy, you get yourself a silver dollar or something. I don't know. What to say about it? I really don't have anything to say. It's meant to be kind of like a what the fuck, a Dance Dance Revolution type game, just with like Britney Spears songs, I suppose. I don't know. And then the other game I picked up, because why not, is Bratz Rock Angels. Oh, I bet you it's amazing. They're rockin' hot and rockin' your world. Oh, I'll bet they are. Then we got another 2 games for $5 seller. Is Yu Yu Hakusho Ghost Files Dark Tournament with a really, really nice holographic case. I like it a lot. Now, the game itself is like a fighter, such as like a Dragon Ball Z Budokai type thing. I have not played this. I have played a Yu Yu Hakusho game before on Genesis, maybe. It's an older system. It was like a tournament fighter like this, so I don't really know if it's the same style, although again it looks almost identical to the fighting style of a Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi type game. Maybe I'm wrong, but just what it looks like. The other game I got from him is The Matrix Path of Neo. I may or may not own this on the original Xbox, but I do not own this on the PS2, which is nice. Another game that has a holographic cover, and I wonder if that's just an Atari thing, because Yu Yu Hakusho game I just picked up is made by Atari too, and that has a holographic cover, so maybe not. Then I picked up for a decent price was Resident Evil Outbreak File 2. Now, I've ragged on this game before. I said that it's shitty. And to be fair, that was, I don't know, like, how old am I? 24. That may have been like 8 or 9 years ago when I had last played this, so my experiences may change now playing this again, but I don't have high hopes for it because I just remember hating every minute of it. But $10, it's around eBay prices, complete in the box. If it's in excellent condition, which this is, if you scrubbed off the sticker residue, then you may be able to get upwards to around $12 to $15. A Game Boy Advance SP. I didn't think I would ever come across one of these with the original Nintendo charger, but I did, which is really cool. Powers up great, works perfectly. The light is great. Now, I've never actually owned an SP before, so I didn't know exactly how bright the light was. It's not like super bright, but it's good enough to where you could sit there and actually see what you're doing. And the game I got with it was Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland. I had played about an hour of this, and I do really, really like it so far, so that's something I may be playing on my DS just for the better screen. Still gonna obviously keep the SP. I really, really like it. I've just never owned one. So that may mean now that I might actually sell my old Game Boy Advance, the flat one without the light, with some other shit that I don't need anymore. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? And then the big thing I got was that Thrustmaster Freestyle board, and it's quite huge, so it may not even show up all in frame. In fact, it isn't. So yeah, there you go. It's pretty neat. I mean, in all seriousness, it kind of reminds me of the Tony Hawk board, except there's two buttons or one big ass button on the front and the back of the skateboard, and it's on kind of like a platform, if you will, to where if you lean left to right off that platform, then your character's going to move left to right. Now, how sensitive that is up for debate. I can't wait to try it out, to be honest with you. It looks like something I may end up reviewing in the future, although I can't be 100% with that because you never really know. I had grabbed some games from the GameStop and the Goodwill, which I will show you right now. Alright, so first thing from the Goodwill is this wireless messenger for the Game Boy Advance. It works on both the SP and this, probably not the Micro. Brand new in the packaging for $2. It was more of an impulse buy. I found out like 5 minutes later after I got in my car that this isn't really worth much more. It's worth like about $5 to $6, maybe like $8 with shipping included. And that's fine. It's just such a bizarre thing, and I believe you need two of these to sit there and communicate from one system to another. I doubt I'll ever come across another one, but it's just kind of funny that it's in the original packaging, brand new. Then we have 007 Racing Collector's Edition. I played this when I was a kid, and I was just so awestruck that James Bond would have a racing game, and I'm still confused why something like this even exists. What makes it a collector's edition as opposed to anything else? I have absolutely no idea. SOCOM Combined Assault. Now, the reason why I picked this up is because the copy that I currently own does not have its original case, the manual, and the disc is somewhat scratched. This copy is complete in the box, and the disc is absolutely flawless. And that goes for pretty much every game I even looked at this Goodwill. They were all in excellent condition, and that's incredibly rare, especially for this Goodwill. It's kind of like a scummy one, which I've talked about plenty of times before. And the final thing I got from the Goodwill was this Ghost Recon. I don't really need to talk about it. It's a game I've been looking for a while, as I said in the video, and it's a franchise that I absolutely love. So to find it for $1.50 at the Goodwill, all these games I picked up were $1.50, was just perfect for me. And then we have the final stuff was from the GameStop. Not gonna talk about them too much, but you know, it's just what I grabbed. First is this Xbox One battery pack. Just, I mean, I'm tired of using batteries. I don't think I really need to go further on with that. For $11.69, as opposed to like the $25 for one that's brand new and comes with the cable. It's like, whatever, I'll just pick it up. The second thing I got was Rice, Son of Rome. I've talked about this before. I've heard people bitch about it being too cinematic of a game. Kind of like how people bitched heavily about The Order 1886, I believe. 1887, whatever. That doesn't bother me as long as I get invested in the characters, invested in the story, and if the game plays, you know, even if it's just decent, I still will probably get enjoyment out of it. So for, what was it, like $7.98 or something like that, it's worth a shot. It's worth the risk. It's not like gonna kill me, like break the bank, as they say. The last thing I grabbed was the Samurai Warriors 4-2 for the PS4 for $15. I don't have anything to really say about it, but I do have something to say about GameStop pissing me off. And this is not even necessarily their fault. It's more, I guess, mine. I had picked up Samurai Warriors 4 and Samurai Warriors 4 Empires a few weeks ago for like $30 to $40 each. And I go in today and they're already half off that price. And I was like, God fucking damn it. You mean to tell me if I would have waited another 2-3 weeks, I could have spent half that amount that I did back then? It was like, God damn it. And that, I mean, that just goes with really any games. You never really know when they're going to drop the price or have a sale or whatever. But I was so annoyed by that. But yeah, Samurai Warriors 4 too. I like the Samurai Warriors games. The only one I'm missing now is Samurai Warriors 3, which apparently only came out on the Wii or the Wii U or both. And that to me is just incredibly stupid, but you know, whatever. It's what it is. So thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed all the footage and the bonus footage. Take care, everyone.